Hey, it's Andrew. You like my shepherd's staff? You know, the reason this is rounded is that if a sheep gets away, the shepherd can wrangle the sheep back in. And if a sheep wanders off, they can find themselves in a lot of danger. If a sheep winds up on its back, it can suffocate. If it winds up in water, it'll drown. And a sheep can get so worked up that he could actually give himself a heart attack if just thinking about threats. And that sounds a lot like us sometimes, doesn't it? I know I lived a lot of my life out of worry and fear. And when I did that, I'd make decisions that were self-destructive and they'd hurt relationships. But when I started following the shepherd's way, Jesus' way, rather than my own way, my life started to get so much better. And David knew this really well. David was a king in the Bible that his life was constantly being threatened. And he wrote Psalm 23, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And he writes those words because he has knowledge of who the shepherd is. Oftentimes when David found himself in trouble, he would seek after God. He would pray, he would fast. He even said it himself, "I meditate on the law day and night." And because of that, he had intimacy with God. He knew God. And he knew how loving and how abundant God was. Not that God would just take care of his physical needs, but his spiritual needs too. That God would be able to carry him through the shadows of the valleys of the death. Even when death looks like it's closing in, David said he wouldn't be afraid because he knew that God was with him, that his rod and his staff would comfort him. And he knew how good God was, that he would not just fill his cup to full, but to overflowing. And when we turn to our shepherd, when we see him and not focus on ourselves, but we see him for who he is, we realize that if he's our shepherd, we'll never need anything. So if you know the shepherd, I encourage you to go and tell others about him. And if you cherish the word like we do, please consider giving the gift of God's word to somebody that's looking for that shepherd. So thank you for watching, and God bless.